My name is Daraksha. I live in a place called Wadala in the city of Mumbai, India. Today I want to tell you about the story of one of my friends, Aisha. Before I begin the story, let me tell you that the area where we live in is located just next to a railway track. Though it's not really a slum, but it's not very developed either. And in order to get the clean drinking water, there's a community tap in the middle of the neighborhood, where every morning at 4:30, when the water comes, people have to stand in line to get the water. Aisha also used to get up every morning and stand in line to get drinking water for her home. But every morning, by the time she would get there would already be a very long line. So one day, she got up and went out to get water at 3 o'clock. She thought there would be no one around at this time, and she would be first person in line, so she could quickly get the water and come back home. Carrying a pot, when she reached the community tap, she saw a woman who was already sitting there in front of the tap. She felt relieved, thinking there was only one person before her in line. She thought, now I can quickly fill the water and go back home. She went near that woman and asked her, "Hey, are you the only person here for water?" To which the woman replied, "Go away from here before I will kill you." Aisha was shocked to hear the woman's words. She wasn't expecting that. She felt very insulted and thought maybe this woman is looking to pick a fight with her. Aisha was a brave girl. She replied, "Who the hell are you to say this to me? This is not your dad's tap. You cannot tell me to go away from here." And then as soon as she said this, the woman quickly got up and slapped Aisha so hard that she fell to the ground. Then she came and stood right in front of Aisha and said, I told you to get away from here, but you didn't listen. So now see what I will do to you." When Aisha saw the woman's face, she got terrified. The woman's face had become twisted and scary, seeing which Aisha fainted and lost her consciousness. Then after some time, when she didn't go back home, her mother and her brother came. They're looking for her. They saw her lying unconscious near the tap and quickly took her back home. But upon reaching home, they noticed that Aisha's face had become twisted. For 2 days she remained unconscious. Nobody knew what had happened to her. Her family got really worried seeing her like this. Then 2 days later, when she finally woke up, her parents took her to many doctors, but her face remained twisted. Also, let me tell you that she was supposed to get married after 2 months. Her parents had arranged that marriage for her, and they feared if her in-laws came to know of her condition, they will cancel the marriage. And that's exactly what happened. Actually, Aisha was possessed by a spirit, and every time that spirit would come in her body, it would make her do some really obscene acts in front of her father and brother. Sometimes she would expose her chest before her brother, or sometimes she would expose her body to her father. I can't even tell you guys what kind of acts she would do when the spirit came in her body. Eventually her in-laws became aware of the things going on in their house and about her condition, and they broke off the marriage. Now Aisha's parents have become really worried. People had started talking all sorts of things about their daughter. So one day, they decided to take her to a very famous Dargah of Mumbai, the Mira Ali Datar Dargah. This is a very famous Dargah in Mumbai, which is known for exorcism of demonic entities and spirits from human bodies. But she was just not ready to go to the Dargah. But somehow her father and brother managed to drag her into the car and went to the Dargah. But as soon as she stepped inside, the Dargahs just started abusing and swearing at everyone around. Then the Mavi of the Dargah made her sit before him and started beating the spirit with a peacock feather. The peacock feather wasn't hurting Aisha's physical body, but it was causing a lot of pain to the spirit inside of her. The Mavi asked,
"Tell me, who are you, and why are you tormenting this girl?"
The spirit answered, "My name is Mina. I used to live in a nearby area called Gorgon. There I used to live alone in a rental flat. Some girls of that area became my friends there, and they started coming to my flat along with their boyfriends. One night, they all planned to come to my flat and have an alcohol party there. I was a simple girl. I didn't like all that. I tried telling them many times not to come to my flat, but they wouldn't listen. One night, though, 2 girls came to my flat with 4 other guys. They started having drinks at my place. When I tried to stop them, they beat me, and all those 4 guys raped me one by one. A few days later, those girls came to my place with those guys. I was very angry with that girl, so I hit her head with a clay pot and burst her head wide open. But then all those guys started beating me mercilessly, and after beating me, they took me outside and left me dying on a railway track. I died lying there on that track, and since then my spirit remained wandering there around that railway track. I hate young boys and girls. The Mavi then asked her,
I understand wrong things have happened with you, but why are you tormenting this innocent girl? Do you realize that you have made her life a living hell? Why do you spoil her character in front of her family, doing all of those obscene acts?
To which the spirit replied angrily, I too was an innocent girl, but nobody cared about me. Nobody cared about my character, my image. So why would I care about her? I will keep insulting her in front of her father and brother. And then she started laughing hysterically. Eventually, the Mavi was able to exorcise Aisha and got the spirit out of her body. But then just a few days later, Aisha committed suicide jumping off her house's terrace, because after all those shameful, obscene acts which that spirit had made her do, she was not able to look in the eyes of her father and brother. She was too ashamed and decided to take her own life. Also, let me tell you that even at the time of her death, her face was still twisted. Aisha's spirit can still be seen lurking around the railway track. Many people have seen her, but she never hurts anyone.